Welcome, one and all, to episode 10 of the Die, Laugh, Love podcast. I cannot express to you my appreciation for everyone showing up to the 10th episode. This is a milestone. Number 10 is a milestone, whether it's your 10th anniversary, 10th birthday. This is a milestone for me. And I see a lot of familiar faces, people that I've sat with in group readings or one-on-one. I see folks that have popped in to these episodes before. And as I jump into this, I want to thank you for your collective energy. One of the things about this process, whether you've gotten a reading from me or not, is that when you sit here in this moment of time, you are contributing your energy to this process. Your love, your heart, your hope, all of that. You're part of this process, whether you've gotten a reading through these episodes or not. If this is the first time that you've sat with me, or perhaps this is the first time that you've seen an episode, I will encourage you to go back to the episodes that have preceded this, episode 1 through 9. I'm really proud of the work that has been done, and I'm proud and grateful for the contribution that everybody has come together and given this process. I want to remind one and all that I am a very down-to-earth person. Very, very down to earth. I like to keep things accessible. And I ask everybody to bring a sense of humor to their time with me. I try to leave everybody with a smile as much as possible. And what makes this episode different than all the ones prior? If you've been part of the other episodes and the other group readings, you'll see that there will be themes that develop. Certain spirits will be called forth, certain ancestors will be called forth to present certain themes. Things will come up for folks, and I'm a big believer that even if you haven't been chosen by spirit to get a reading in these processes, that you'll benefit from the wisdom and the insight that spirit brings forth to other folks that are here. So thank you for participating. What makes this episode special, and this is why I asked everybody to have their name up on their screen, is that today I'm referring to this as my popcorn episode. And what I mean by popcorn is this: everybody that is part of this process today is getting a reading. Everybody on this screen will be getting a little bit of a message. And this is something that I felt called to do last week. And I knew that the 10th episode that I was going to have today was going to share with everybody a little bit of an insight. So something that I want to make sure that people understand is this. First, if you don't want a reading, you better get out of here. Okay? If you don't want to be included and you don't want a connection of some sort, hop out. Okay? Because I'm going to give everybody a little bit of a message. I don't know how long those messages are going to be. It looks like I have about 22, 23 people in this group. I will be called to certain people at certain times. I will ask you to unmute yourself. I want you to know that these messages that are coming through from our collective spirits, your ancestors, your guiding spirits, your angels, my spirits. I don't believe I'm going to put too much of an emphasis on who's bringing that message forth, but I do know that the messages that will be given will be messages that you'll need to hear, not necessarily ones that you'll want to hear. And I want you to listen to all of the messages that everybody else receives, because I know in a collective experience like this, if I'm reading, for instance, Leola or Kelly, there's a good chance that Erin or Jacqueline or Sue or Larissa, anybody else on this call today, will benefit from the messages that are brought forth. Okay. Everybody up for this? Give me a thumbs up if you're up for it. Okay. So to kick this off, what I want to do is I want to just settle everybody in and kind of center folks. I don't think I've done this before, and if I have, I'm going to repeat it again. I want to start everybody off with a little bit of a breathing technique to get us all on the same page. I'm not sure if folks have ever heard of box breathing or the four-fold breath. So what this is an inhale of four, a hold of four, an exhale of four, and a hold of four. This breathing technique, this is something that will help calm your central nervous system down. If you are somebody that experiences anxiety or nervousness, this is an excellent technique that you can use. You can do this 3 times, you can do it 10 times, but it is something that will send messages to your body to calm down. Now, if you can't hold for four or inhale for four, just go for three. But I want you to consider drawing a box. This is why they call it box breathing. Four, 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 four. The other, thank you for letting me know, Linda. The other part of this process is I like to incorporate that breathing technique with a visualization. So if you feel more called to the moon or the sun, I want you to pick one of the two, the moon or the sun. The moon has 4 phases. The sun, in its way, does too. We have dawn, noon, dusk, and evening. So when you're inhaling for 4 seconds, I want you to imagine the sun rising. When you're holding, I want you to imagine the sun at noontime. As you're exhaling, I want you to imagine the sun setting. And as you're holding, I want you to imagine the sun is below the horizon. If you're into the moon, if you're connected to the moon, I want you to think of new moon, waxing, full, and waning. So this is, again, something that is really beneficial to our central nervous system and our emotional and mental health. So with that being said, take a big, deep cleansing breath for me. And in and an out. And we'll get started. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, hold. 2, 3, 4, exhale. 2, 3, 4, hold. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, hold. 2, 3, 4, exhale. 2, 3, 4, hold. 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, and hold, 2, 3, 4. Excellent. Let your body go back to its natural breathing rhythm, the one that you don't have to pay attention to at all. And we're going to jump right in. As I had my eyes closed, I was pulled to Sally. Hi, Sally. If you could unmute yourself, please. And I'll prompt you from this side. I'll hit ask to unmute, and that should give you a prompt to unmute. There we go. Hi, Sally.
Hi.
Excellent. Okay. Thank you for joining us. Now, if I'm remembering correctly, you've been here for a few, and I think that you were here for the candy cane episode, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
I want to, this is fascinating. I want to immediately praise you for the amount of peace that you're cultivating and that you're holding on to. From spirit, I think that you've understood that your peace is their peace. Yes? When you
Yes.
find peace, you're passing peace to those who love you, those who observe you, those who are with you all the time. It's interesting. I don't know why I have to say this, but I want to praise you and thank you for taking care of yourself better. Okay? Care of yourself better. Can I ask you, do you feel, Sally, that you are not so glum as you used to be?
Yes, I do.
Thank you for that. The other thing that I'm getting for you is, are you feeling yourself in a way that like you're taking care of yourself, you know, hair, makeup, clothes, you're putting a little bit more extra effort in how you're like caring for yourself? Yes?
Yes, yes.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. I really get that. And what else I'm getting for you too, and remember, this is from your spirit team, the ones that love you, that are with you. And are you making your hands busy? What are you doing to keep your hands busy? Are you doing anything new, like crafts or things with your hands?
Um, I'm working out and I just stay busy cleaning and going through things that I need to do.
Okay, keeping yourself busy, keeping your hands busy. Okay. I again, I want to praise you. I'm hearing like applause from the world of spirit. I want to thank you for all of the efforts that you're putting in to take care of yourself. These are very tangible. Yes, you can look at things in your life going, I'm taking care of myself, I'm out of my funk, I'm not so glum, I'm caring for myself. All right, I really want to celebrate you for that because you're caring for the person that your people in spirit love. Okay? So and I also think, as well, as you've separated yourself, or as you continue to separate yourself from your grief and your pain, what you're doing is actually you are connecting more deeply to the world of spirit. So I think as you're shedding your grief and your pain, as you're moving away from that, you're opening yourself up more to love. And that faculty of love is a way to connect more deeply to the people that you would have lost in spirit. It's fascinating that I have to tell you that your men, plural, are playing cards and they're just in the world of spirit. They're waiting for you. Okay. So you're this you're this example of somebody who really understands that while you're here in life and on the planet Earth, you're on vacation. The people that you've loved, they're at home. They've left Earth, they've left their bodies, they've gone home. You're on vacation. They're observing you on vacation, making the most of it. It's just a matter of time before you shuffle off this mortal coil and you return home to them. So there is that celebration that you are doing your best to take care of the person that they love. Okay. So big thumbs up for you. Big thumbs up. You are actually a role model for folks who have suffered processes of grief. Okay, so again, your efforts are recognized, and you're again a role model to those who would also find themselves in places of grief. Okay,
Thank you.
um, make sure that make sure that you keep your hands busy. Make sure that you keep yourself busy because I think it's easy for folks who find idle time to slide back into despair.
Yes,
Okay,
definitely.
so please keep your hands busy. Okay, please keep your hands busy. Thank you for this. I'm going to mute you because remember, popcorn, and I'm popcorning from you to the next, and I got to follow my lead. So
Thank
I'm really grateful for you being here, and I'm grateful for the work that you've put in to find healing because it does take work. Absolutely. So thank you for that. All right. So I'm going up to Robin. I see Robin's square. Here we are. So, Robin, it looks like Robin this week that you've brought a guest.
Okay, we're there.
Hi, Robin.
So this
Yes.
is Gary. You see that?
And this is Gary.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you for that. Hi,
I didn't
Gary.
know how to put it on screen.
Okay.
I'm like, we're just going to do this. Old school.
Ah, I love that. I love that. Okay. So, Robin, I want to thank you. And there's a lot of praise all of a sudden coming through. I want to thank you for the kindness that you have found. So, here is something that's interesting for you. I feel like you don't necessarily react as much as you once did. I feel like you respond and you put more thought into the words that you're giving the people that you love. Can you say that you respond more than you do react now, and that you, through that process, you found a way to be kinder and understanding that your words have impact and matter to the people around you?
Yeah, at times I try to think about it more, what's going to come out of my mouth. Depends on who I'm with. But yeah.
I appreciate that because words do have an impact on those people around us. Okay. So that's your message. Please continue to put more effort into responding versus reacting. Sometimes we can have a knee-jerk reaction and go, son of a bitch. We can have that. But if we pause, take a breath, maybe do a couple of breathing techniques, then we can put some thought into the words that land and have an impact around those. Now, I'm not familiar with Gary, but I have a big message for him, and I'll tell you what. Um, I'm also celebrating Gary. Okay. And the reason being is that I'm not sure what father figure he has in the world of spirit. I don't know if his dad is in spirit or grandfather's in spirit, but I get a father figure around him that's very proud of him in terms of the efforts that he's putting into taking care of himself, and also being a man of honor and integrity. So, Gary, would you know? Just give me a thumbs up or a nod because you're a little square on my screen right now. Uh, do you know, as much as you can be self-aware, that you're doing the right things in your life, that you're taking care of people that you love? Would you consider yourself a man of integrity? And perhaps, Robin, you have to chime in here and let him know that.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
You hear what he says?
Yeah.
He's a little hard of hearing, sorry, but he's getting it.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. His dad has passed, his grandfather.
Okay, perfect. This the next message that I get for him is health related, and this is an important part. And remember, this is information that everybody needs to hear.
Yep.
I would have Gary limit his amount. If he could just cut it out, it would be wonderful. Limit the amount of sausage, bacon, pastrami, salami, nitrate laden meats that he's eating. The reason that I'm saying that is, Robin or Gary, can you confirm that there might be colon cancer in the family? Do you know this?
I don't know what his dad had. I think it was from his stroke, though. I'm not sure. He had a
shut down. Colostomy bag.
colostomy bag. Thank
His
you.
system
My
shut
words
down.
don't come like they used to.
Okay, he had a colostomy
He had
bag. Okay, so
strokes. So yeah,
that is
cool.
that's something related to colon problems. Absolutely.
And
I
stroke.
would invite anybody to do the research around this themselves. Go out outside of what I'm sharing here, but the fact that nitrate laden, preservative laden meats contribute to colon problems. Okay, so if Gary could remove like bacon, pastrami, salami, sausage, those preservative laden meats, I do think his digestive system is going to be um, grateful. Okay.
He's trying to get back on the veggie smoothies. He needs to do it. He's thinking about it. He keeps thinking about it.
Oh,
So
Well, I love that because I'm not sure if he's so much thinking about it as he's receiving that message.
maybe.
And I'm not saying cut out the meats entirely because I think, protein, beef and chicken and the good meats are healthy for us, but it's something about the preservative meats, the nitrate meats that are poison to many people, if not all people's digestive systems.
Gotta have fresh
Okay.
meatballs. He's Italian. He's not gonna give up his meatballs.
That's absolutely great. And I love Leola chiming in saying, lots of good healthy recipes on Instagram. So,
Yeah.
I'm not sure if Gary's an Instagram person, but I bet some people in his life could run Google for him and get some good messages. It's interesting too. Take everything that I say with a grain of salt. Robin or Gary, does Gary have skin issues? I can't tell from here. Is there anything skin related to him going on?
He just not.
Yeah.
I have skin, but he just had eye surgery. You can't see him. He's not up close because he's still sutured. It's only been a couple days, so he's swollen and bruised and yeah, still has sutures in there on the corners of his eyes. So it's dry
Okay.
out. They're trying to tighten everything up for him. There's tighten his lids. So he's got saggy
Okay.
skin is the actual thing that's causing it. So yeah.
Skin
That's
stuff.
cause.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. I have to say it because if I don't say it, I don't get anything else after that message. I think Gary has a sensitivity to fluoride. So, fluoridated water, perhaps fluoridated toothpaste, something like that. I would get.
I
what's
have
that?
this. I have this facial rash, and then when I look it up, they say it could be fluoride related. I thought it was because I have inhalers that are steroids, and I was getting overdosed with steroids, so I cut it. And they're like, "No, you have emphysema. Get back on that stuff." So I can't balance. Is it the rash? I have too many meds now, so I don't know what's causing what. it's a
Somebody
mess.
on
I
that side
can't
of the
even
screen
get
has a
into it. It's
fluoride
too
sensitivity.
much. But fluorides can cause facial rashes. So
Okay, so I'm going to ask you, Robin, if that message is for you, to please limit your fluoride if you can. I know that you can
Yeah.
keep your mouth healthy and teeth healthy without the fluoride. So I just think some people are more sensitive to these things than other. Also, Gary, please take care of your knees. If you got to wear a knee brace, any sort of knee thing, please take care of your knees.
Yeah.
Time for a
Uh,
checkup. You
it's
gotta go.
super important that Gary takes care of his father's son, which is him. Okay. In the same way that Sally was taking care of herself, she's taking care of the person that her people love. Gary, I really need you to take care of yourself in all the ways. Don't suffer through the pain. You know, if a knee brace or a cane or some sort of walking implement would help you heal to any degree, make sure that you're not so proud that you suffer, because your loved ones in spirit are aware not only of your mental and emotional sufferings, but your physical ones as well. Okay. So don't be too proud to take care of yourself, because when you reduce your pain, you're reducing the pain of everybody that loves you. So thank you guys for being here. I'm going to popcorn off to the next one, and I will mute
Thank you
you,
so
Robin.
much.
We're going to go from here to there. Okay. Uh, Sue, I'm drawn right up to the top right corner of this. So Sue's iPhone, I'm going to unmute you here. Okay. Sue, my message for you is this. Please remember how much healing power you have in your hands. Okay. So my first question for you, based on the message that I'm getting on your behalf, is this. Are you Reiki trained?
Yes.
You are.
Yep. I've done level 1.
Okay. I'm going to flip a message that I usually give to a lot of folks. And this is, again, oftentimes the spirits that work with me will tell people who have uh, problems with cold spots or numb spots on their body to have scalp stimulation. I'll often speak of that device that goes up and down a person's head for a person to get scalp stimulation, to get goosebumps, to stimulate, nerves and blood flow and all of that to those parts of their body. What's fascinating to me is that I get that message, but you're the device. You're the device. And what I mean by that is, I think there are people in your life that might have those cold spots or numb spots in that way. And what I'm getting is that you're the person who should be taking their hands and their nails and, stimulating another person's scalp. But there's also not just the physical part of that, there is the energetic part. So, Sue, can I ask you, do you have anybody in your life that has nerve stuff, cold, numb spots on their body?
Yeah.
Okay. Put that person on the floor between your legs and tickle their scalp. Do you know what I mean? Tickle their
Yep.
scalp. But when you do that, I need you to lean into the sunlight that comes out of your hands. Okay. So a Reiki treatment in that way, but also while doing that massage or stimulation. Okay. Even if the person even if the person is sensitive to tickling, it's actually a benefit that they're sensitive to that. Okay. Also, I don't know if you have young kids in your life at all. I don't know if you have small ones in your life at all, but I feel like your Reiki abilities, your energy healing would benefit children. I'm hearing the A. Okay, so hold on one second. Any child that might be on the autism spectrum, or any child that might have ADHD, those sorts of A diagnoses, may I ask you, do you have small ones in your life that are on the spectrum or have ADHD at all?
5 grandchildren, all with ADHD.
Grandma, please get with your hands, okay? Please get with your hands, okay? Please get with your hands. Also, something to consider, please plan an Easter celebration, an Easter egg hunt. I'm seeing an Easter basket. So it's a few months out for Easter. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But to do something to get them together. And if they have ADHD, there's going to be a lot of energy you
Yeah.
know, a lot of energy.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. An Easter egg hunt, if you could facilitate it, would be really good. In fact, it's interesting. Take that a step further and do an Easter scavenger egg hunt.
Yep.
A scavenger hunt. You know, when you get a clue
Yep.
and then you got to decipher the clue and take that. Your life partner, I think, would be wonderful at developing those clues and coming up with a little treasure hunt and a little pirate hunt.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
take that and make sure that you have fun and turn that high level of energy that those kids have into something that's beneficial. You know, like give them the scavenger hunt, give them the Easter egg hunt, take that high level of energy and point it in a direction and utilize it. Give it an outlet, I guess is the best way to put it.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you for being
Absolutely.
here. I'm going to mute you. Remember, you can come back and revisit these messages once the episode is up and available online. So
Perfect.
that's important for everybody here to know. Okay. So next, I'm going to Brandy. Hi, Brandy. I've asked you to unmute yourself.
Hello.
Hi. Okay. So, Brandy, the words that I'm receiving and the message that I have is this terrible amount of conflict that resides in your heart. You have some suffering and you have some pain. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. I want to celebrate you like I've celebrated Sally in the way that Sally's worked on herself, found herself. You're putting effort into yourself. But the message that I have for you, Brandy, is that as much as you might seek peace and balance and wisdom on the outside of you, I need you to remember that your greatest source of peace will always come from the magnificent heart that you have on the inside of you. My message for you, Brandy, is this. You provide an incredible amount of peace, wisdom, humor, love to the people on the outside of you. That fire that burns within you for others, I need it to become something that warms you as well. Now, don't distract yourself. Don't get so busy helping other people. Don't get so busy with projects that you avoid yourself. I need you to touch base with yourself. The symbol that I'm seeing is the infinity symbol. You're familiar with that, like the sideways figure
Yes.
eight? Okay.
Yeah.
It's interesting to me that every time you come into a relationship with somebody that you care for, that it's like your heart feeds their heart. It's almost imagine an infinity symbol between your heart and their heart, that there's this heart connection in that way. So, you know, you feed them, you care for them, you nurture them. I need you to turn that on its head and remember that there is an incredible amount of healing and wisdom within you that you can tap into and that you can access. You're incredible. Your heart is incredible. And the amount of love that you offer people in this world makes this world a better place. So you need to know that the amount of love that you have for others, the world is such a better place for it. And I know that so many people in this world that love tirelessly and love fearlessly often don't get thanked for it and often don't get tangible evidence that their efforts and their love is resulting in something of benefit. I have to be here to let you know that it is and that it does and that your heart makes this world a better place. Also, please get a massage for your shoulders, whatever's going on with your neck and shoulders, tension. Okay. I do think that you neglect yourself. Do you know this?
Yes.
Okay. You got some shoulder and neck pain, tightness here?
Yep.
All right. That's important because, again, your physical well-being is just as important in this physical world as your mental and emotional and spiritual health. I do want to let you know, and I don't say this to worry you. Okay. I don't say this to worry you. I say this to prepare you. This is an oracular message for the future. Okay. Life is going to get bumpy and tough for the person you care about the most. Okay. Life is going to get bumpy and tough for the person that you care about the most. That's not terror or pain or trauma is just going to get difficult. Okay. So, what I'm seeing is not only that message to get yourself a massage, but I'm also like the boxing coach in the boxing ring, giving you the message here, massaging your shoulders so you can get into the fight, get into the fray, if you will. And then because you're stronger in that way, you can then be that boxing coach for the person that you care for most. Okay. The person that you care for most is going to have some transitions coming up shortly. I don't know what's going on. Life's going to get a little bit bumpy, a little bit tough. So remember to tap into that fierceness of your love so you can pass it on to that person, and make sure that you're sustained at that place where you can then provide that level of strength for that person. You understand that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for being here, and thank you for incrementally, step by step, figuring out how to be kinder to yourself. Okay. Thank you. All right. That's your message. Come back to it if you need to, but massage would be good. Also, cold therapy and an ice bath. I'm not sure what's going on there. I just saw you like in an ice bath or cold ice. You're
Okay.
familiar with ice baths?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know why cold therapy would be good for you, but all of a sudden I got that. Something for you to consider.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you for being here. I'm going to pop over to Rachel.
Hello.
Hi, Rachel. Rachel, you have the heart of a child, and that is your, I believe, if we could quantify such a thing, I believe that is perhaps your greatest attribute. Heart of a child. I do believe that. And it's not a naive heart, it's a hopeful heart. And there is a strength to that wisdom. It's fascinating as I'm giving you this message. I feel like this message would also apply to the person on this call named Erin. Erin has a heart of a child. She's waving. I think Rachel, you and Erin would make great friends. Erin, something to consider, interestingly enough, Rachel has participated in a retreat that I've offered in the past in October. She's come to a retreat. She's planning on coming to my retreat in May. I don't know. She's from Texas. Erin, if you'd be like, I don't know how you could make it work, but the retreat I'm offering in May would be a perfect spot for you to participate in. It's a 4 or 5 day retreat. It's a long time, but you have a heart of a child, just like Rachel does. Rachel, I'm going to encourage you, please, if you've gotten this message, to please write a children's book.
Yeah, I'm working on it. It's just taking me it's just arduously slow. I'm like really, oh God, I think I'm rewriting the first part of the first book, like on my third rewrite now. Like I'm just like editing. I just keep I have to keep going through it. So it's perfect and then I'm going to give it to my daughter and she's going to illustrate it for me. Because she knows this.
It's fascinating because that message that I'm giving you, Rachel, about writing a children's book is also one that I need to give Erin. Erin, please consider writing a children's book using the heart of your child to make the lives of children better, to lean into art, to lean into the playful part of your heart and bring it to the world. Okay. Rachel, that process that you're speaking of, make sure that you don't allow perfect to be the enemy of good. Okay. Because I think that your standards are a little bit too high. And I think that you're holding yourself to standards that you wouldn't want others to. I also think that you might have a little bit of training in literature in the way that there is that editing process. I think that you're editing as you're going, and I'm not sure that's appropriate for your process. So try to I think you're skipping parts in your steps in your process. So again, don't let perfect be the enemy of good. As well, Rachel, when I'm looking at you, I would have you lean into some sort of shoulder injury. I'm not sure if you've got like a shoulder thing or anything going on, but make sure that you're taking care of anything that might be related to ergonomics or repetitive motion injuries. Make sure that you're taking care of those things, and don't let your shoulders go south. Okay. Don't let your shoulders go south. I think that children's book that you're working on is more important than you realize. And I want you to look at that process through the heart of that child that you are, through the heart of the child. I think that you're entering into that process and being, I don't want to say a perfectionist, but I think an idealist. Children aren't idealists, adults are. So to look at the idealism of a child and bring that to your process, I think is going to help.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you for being here. I'm not going to Erin next. She's going to come up in another part here. I have to go to Stephanie. Hi, Stephanie.
Hi.
Okay.
How are you?
So today being the 10th episode, everybody's getting a little bit of a reading. I'm not going to focus too much on you because you have been called on quite a bit in these processes. Yes, you've been
Twice.
featured a couple of times. And this is why I'm doing this, because I want to give everybody a little bit of something.
Right.
I don't have control over the way spirit directs me, but I want to give everybody a little bit of something. I'm drawn to your square, Stephanie, and I think this is piggybacking on the childlike energy, to remember that we have to have childlike energy. I'm
Mhm.
looking at you and I'm being prompted to tell you to go ice skating.
I used to ice skate. I used to figure skate when I was younger. Yes. Funny.
Okay, so you used to figure skate when you were younger.
Mhm.
Now, yeah, I would only get that message
Right.
if that's something that you could do
Yeah.
right now.
Once my ankle is completely healed, because I was hiking in the Alps and I broke my ankle. So it's almost healed. So, and I was thinking about going ice skating. I miss it. Yeah. So, yeah.
You miss it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Remember that these messages are for everybody.
Right.
That for me, being a kid of the 80s, being a little kid of the 80s, loved horror movies. I know when I am stressed too much and I've pushed myself past my capacity, when I start to crave certain vampire movies from the 80s, because it
Right.
makes me feel like a little kid and I got to check out and have a little bit of joy.
Right.
I think everybody should be paying attention to the messages or their compulsions that come out of nowhere for no reason, because
Mhm.
that's oftentimes spirit going, hey, you need a little bit of medicine.
Right.
And for folks that are familiar with me, I really am a big proponent of what I call vitamin joy, seeking joy intentionally to compensate for life's stresses.
Yep.
So your message, Stephanie, and for everybody else here, find the activity from your childhood that gave you joy, participate in it so your heart can. I love that. Thank you, Marisol. So your heart can have a little bit of joy. That's
Yes.
important. Okay. So
And I think
Stephanie,
that was part of my last message you gave me, is to go. My dad was saying, go back to what made me happy in my late 20s, which was my singing, traveling. So I'm going to go to Florida this weekend, coming up for 4 days, just a long weekend.
I love that.
Yeah.
We're gonna dial that back in time a little bit. The singing and the travel, absolutely. But
Right.
let's back it up a little bit. The things that we did when we were little kids.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So all
So,
of that is great. So
okay.
continue to do that. Thank
Great.
you for that. My eyes are being drawn
Thank you.
to the square that says Nikita, the black square that says Nikita. Now, Nikita, you do not necessarily need
I
to
gotcha.
show yourself, but you can if you'd like to.
Nope, I'm good. Thank you.
I love that. So I don't have the visual cues here. Okay, so I'm going to need you to speak up and even perhaps speak over me. The
Okay.
message that I have for you, Nikita, is this: you need to speak up and run your mouth, please.
Oh, I do
Okay.
way too much.
I know that you say
Gets
that.
me in trouble.
It's a good trouble. Hear me out on this. It's a good trouble. So you're here. I say, hey, you should speak up. You should run your mouth. That's bringing a balance to the people around you. Perhaps you have a sense of conflict in your heart about running your mouth or speaking up and speaking truth to power, or speaking truth to people who would be inappropriately abusive to people around them. I'm not sure what this is. I am encouraging you to speak up and be assertive with your values, with your heart, with the things that are important to you. Uh, may I ask you, Nikita, when you do whatever it is you do in this world, do you do everything with uh, a sense of love?
I would like to think that I do. I
Well, the
try.
message that I'm getting, well, there's a reason why I'm asking that, and I have to let you know that I have to speak to the message that I'm getting about you. And this is why it's a little difficult for me because I have to, there is a bit of a trigger warning that I have to provide you and everybody else here with what I'm about to say, because what I'm about to say to you is loaded. Okay. The reason why I suspect that you do everything from a place of love is this. The words that I'm hearing is that you're channeling God. Now, what that means to me is that you're channeling love, that you're channeling love. And sometimes the love that we're channeling, because for me, God, source, universe, what have you, is love. It's not a Christian thing. It's not a Catholic thing. Source, universe, spirit is love. And I do believe that you're channeling that when you, now, this is the message that I'm getting. You're a warrior of love. And if you feel like you are running your mouth to anybody's detriment, that is wrong. You're speaking from love. And sometimes that love that you speak will require you to rock the boat, to upset the apple cart. And if there's any situations around you where you feel you have to speak truth to power in that way, I need you to do that because you're speaking for love. Perhaps you're speaking enough already, and perhaps you have a sense of conflict about needing to speak in this way. But I need you to know that you are a representative of love, and everything that you're doing and everything that you're saying comes from love. Can I ask you, with what you do in your daily life, do you help people?
Yes, I do.
You do. Do
Hmm.
you help the vulnerable and the weak and the disenfranchised?
I do my best.
Please continue to do so. And please continue to run your mouth for God.
That's
That's
probably
what
what's
I'm
getting me in
getting.
trouble.
Good. Good. Please. If that's what's getting you in trouble, perhaps that trouble is an indication that things are incredibly out of balance. But I need you to run your mouth, okay? I need you to run your mouth. This is the message that I'm getting for you. You're speaking for love. You are love. You're speaking on behalf of the disenfranchised, the vulnerable, and the weak. How people receive that, and if it gets you in trouble, don't let that be your conflict. Don't own that conflict because everything that I'm getting is that you're doing the right thing. So continue to do the right thing. Okay?
Thank you. I'm
Okay.
doing it. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So I'm going to mute you and I'm going to go down to Elizabeth R. Hi.
Oh,
Hi. All right. So Elizabeth R, thank you for being here.
sure.
I'm not sure if people call you Liz or
No, I don't like Liz.
Elizabeth.
I prefer
You don't
Liz.
like Liz? Okay. So we're going with Elizabeth, yeah?
Thank you.
Okay. So Elizabeth, remember to take everything with a grain of salt. And remember that everything that comes through from a place of love. And when I give this to you, nobody's judging you, and this isn't a judgment. But I look at your square here on Hollywood Squares. I look at your square here on Zoom. And what I'm getting for you is this: you're not being creative enough. You're not creating enough. I just got a big whiff of Play-Doh. Remember Play-Doh, like as a kid?
Yeah.
Like those sorts of things. May I ask you, are you a creator and an artist that's no longer creating or not doing anything of that way?
I did crafts a lot. I'm not
You
doing
did
it.
crafts a lot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Paper crafts and just stuff like that.
It must have given you a sense of the connection, peace, happiness in that way. Okay. I do think that inherently all human beings are creative. We just have different outlets for that creativity. I think that everybody creates in that way, whether it's paper crafts or what have you. I also have another message for you. If you are not right now, you will soon become what I hear as the keeper of memories. The keeper of memories. Do you have old pictures from your family? Do you hold on to the old pictures?
I hold on to the old pictures and I'm also doing genealogy.
Keeper of memories. I love that. Okay. So let's combine the two. You know, you're doing the genealogy, the keeper of memories, the photos, all of that. Let's take your level of creativity and how that gives you, the word that I'm hearing is therapy. There's a certain level of therapy around being creative, a certain level of connection that you're getting from your ancestors and holding the memories, honoring them. Marry those two, combine those
Okay.
two. Okay. I want to show you something that I think that you would be interested in seeing. So I wrote this book for my grandmother. It's a hardcover book. It's not very big. It's this, okay? Son of a sea cook. Very proud of this. It's for my family. It's for my family 100 years from now. But it's also something where I wrote the story. I took the pictures. I created this. I did this. I'm a very creative person. I'm also a person that's connected to memories and ancestors and genealogy. And I married those two loves of mine. I feel a man in spirit around you who would have had a military background that I think has a story to be told. Okay.
Okay.
So dig into like a grandfather, somebody who would have like World War II era, World War One, something to that degree. See if you can dig into pictures and stories and see if that is something that you can preserve in your own way, even if you create a PDF document for your family.
Okay.
Okay. So please do that. I think it's bigger stories are unfolding around your creativity and your connection to your ancestors. Okay. Interestingly, what I'm also getting is pay attention to the birds, like the cardinals or the blue jays or the birds around you. Do you have a
Mhm.
connection to birds and
I've
consider
been
them to be
feeding birds lately, bird food in front of the front house patio. Yeah.
okay? Just pay attention to strange behavior from the birds. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Much love to you. Thank you for
All right.
being
Thank you
here.
so much.
You're very welcome. Get back. Also, if all of your craft stuff are in totes packed away, I'm
Yes.
going to I'm gonna challenge you. I'm gonna dare you this afternoon to go pull them out. Whether you dig into them, but go get them out of storage, get them somewhere so you can see them and have this as a reminder that that's something that you should do. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you for being here. Perfect. Okay. Linda. Hi, Linda. You're not on mute. Can you hear me? Can you speak? You can hear me, but you can't speak, correct? I think that's what you put in chat, correct? Okay. So, Linda, I'm guided to you. You're going to have to give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. You know what I mean? Visual communicate in this way. Do you have a big connection to animals, Linda? You have one animal? Okay. That doesn't really answer the question that I asked you, though. Do you have a big connection to animals? Are you an animal person? Okay. I look at you, Linda, and what I feel is I'm going to use air quotes here. Animal whisperer. Animal whisperer in terms of having a particular ability to communicate through the faculties of feeling with animals. So you have one animal. You might not necessarily be a big animal person, but I want you to, this is, remember, take everything that I say with a grain of salt. I would like you to, if you haven't yet already, learn a little bit more about energy healing, perhaps Reiki in that way. Are you a Reiki person? Do you do Reiki? Yes or no? No? Okay. Is it anything that's ever drawn to you or fascinated by it? Okay. I'm going to invite you to research Reiki. Now, Reiki is the Japanese version of energy healing. As energetic beings, regardless of our culture, regardless of where we come from, we're all doing energy work all the time. Okay. I was talking to Sue about like the sunshine coming from her hands. Linda, I would have you and anybody else that's interested in energy healing or working with the energy body. There is a book, I can't remember the author, but it's a really well known book called Hands of Light. Hands of Light. It's a well established book, I think from the 80s, maybe. And it's kind of talking about the idea of Reiki in that way. Linda, I'm going to pass that on to you because I feel like you have a special connection to animals. And Barbara Brennan, thank you, Deborah Fay. So, with that being said, I feel like animals that might have arthritis problems or bone density issues or things like that, I feel like if you were to tap into your capacity to move energy through your hands and you lay hands on animals, I feel like you could bring them peace and healing. May I ask, that one animal that you have, are they older? No? Okay. So this might be something that you do in a rescue or in a shelter or something that might be something that becomes so tangible for you that you're able to do it perhaps even on a professional level. There are people out there that do Reiki for animals on a professional level. Now, Linda, uh, I want to ask you too, is there a man in spirit that would be connected to horses? Like somebody who had a horse farm, rode horses, anything to that degree? Is there a man in spirit around you that would have had animals, like connection to animals, like love of animals and pets? Take it all with a grain of salt. I get a spirit around you that I feel like you're similar to. I'm getting like jump a generation, not like parents, but grandparents. And I feel like you could walk onto horse farms and take like horses who might have issues or something like that and do work on horses. So again, that's just something for you to consider. I'm not sure that's what you were expecting to hear today, but I got to honor what I'm getting. And I'd have you, perhaps research it, look at it, what have you, in terms of contributing to the health and well-being of some of our most precious children, because that's what animals are, our most precious, outside of our actual children, those spirits are our children. So thank you for being here. And if you don't do anything else, if you're interested in the Reiki, okay, or fascinated by the idea of it, get that book, Hands of Light. I think that it will help make a lot of sense on some of the things that you're already doing. Thank you for being here. Okay. Kelly, Rainbow Kelly, drawn over you, or drawn over to
Josh,
you. Hi, Kelly.
how are
Hi.
you?
Okay. All right. I have strange messages. Did you ever write diaries as a kid?
No,
You didn't. Okay.
I did not.
I want you to go back to 1985 if you could.
Okay.
Okay. In 1985, I was 6 years old. In 1985, I want you, and this is just a thought exercise for you. And again, remember, everybody can benefit from this. I want you to touch base with the person that you were in 1985. Now, the other part of this, and I don't think that you're shy in this way, but I'm gonna ask you, would you mind telling me how old you were in 1985?
I was 20.
20.
Yes.
All right. Imagine if your 20-year-old self kept a journal, like a diary, and what that diary or that journal would say. And by reading it, how you could touch base with that person that you were when you were 20. there's something here about connecting to perhaps a more optimistic version of yourself, more hopeful, youthful, energetic. Perhaps at a time where you felt like you were really grabbing life by the horns. I'm not sure what that is. I'm seeing a journal like your 1985 self would have written, turning back into time and looking at those pages. It's a thought exercise, touching base with this. Now, on the other hand, we're going to flip it. We're going to flip it. I'm not somebody that is particularly full of woo or new age hokum. I'm not. I like to keep everything down to earth, but I am going to give you a little bit of magic here. I'm going to give you a little bit of a process where you can kind of manifest a different type of future. This might not seem like it makes sense at all, but it is a magical act, and I want you to consider it. I want you to journal from the future.
Okay.
And what I mean by that, and this is a helpful exercise, I think, for a lot of folks, I think that there are places in your life where you'd like your life to change a little bit or go in a particular direction or things that you want to create. Okay. Correct? Got plans, hopes, aspirations, goals.
Yes, just
Okay.
finished making a vision board.
Just finished making a vision board. All right. For folks that aren't familiar with what a vision board is, that's where you take like a collage, right? You make a collage of all the things that you want and you look at it and you guide yourself in that way. Okay. So your part is two processes, I think. I think that it might be even useful for you to consider writing a journal entry from your 20-year-old self. Okay. Having there was a fire within you at the age of 20 that I think that you are seeking to reconnect to. And I think that a powerful exercise is journaling from the future. And what that looks like is just picking a random day in the future, or a random day in the future, where like June 6th, 2031, and write a paragraph as to where your life is at, what is going on in your life, the things that you want. I think this is a very useful exercise for people who want to create a healthy, more sustaining future. I think that there is a future that you are trying to create of substance. You know what I'm saying? Like substance.
I do, and I do need to tell you, Josh, June 6th is my grandmother's birthday. Out of all the dates you could have picked.
Okay, I love that. So I want to ask you to touch base with your, how do I say, your younger self, the fiery self, okay, the fiery self, and the bring that fiery self of your youth, create the brightest and the best future. Okay.
Okay.
I also am going to tell you too, and there's no need for you to validate this, but I'm connected to you, Kelly, and I'm looking at you. And this process, I think, is going to help you confront whatever terror exists in your heart. I think there's fear. I think there's terror. I'm hearing the word terror. And this process is to help you confront that fear, to remind you. And it's interesting because I think the terror, the fear that you're holding on to is unfounded. And I think that by working through this process, believing that you're worthy of those beautiful days in the future, those connections, that substance and that sustenance, you're going to help manifest it and push yourself in that direction. Okay?
Yep.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks, Josh.
I'm going to go down to Deborah Fay.
Hello.
Hi, Deborah. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us. Now, when I was talking to Elizabeth, and I was saying you weren't being creative enough, you know, like she had this sense of creativity that she wasn't tapping into anymore. Here's an interesting thing for you, Deborah. I do believe that you're a creative person. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to give you a little bit of insight into how you can also, may I ask, also Reiki trained, do energy healing of your own?
Yep. I'm a Reiki master teacher. Yep.
Okay. All right. I'm going to ask you to create a specific item. And as you're creating it, I'm going to have you put the Reiki into it, imbue it with that love and that energy. And these are things that you give to people. Okay. So these are things that you give to people. I am seeing a God's eye. Do you know what a God's eye is?
Yeah, like the yarn thing that you do around like
Yeah. So yep, two sticks like this, and then it's a God's eye. Okay. Well, the important part of that is the yarn that you'll use when you create that is uh it should be organic, like the wool, the cotton. It shouldn't be polyester. It should be organic stuff that had life at one point.
Yep.
And I think that just holds onto that Reiki energy a little bit deeper. Okay.
Sure.
Uh, I, I'm trying to decipher this. I'm trying to translate. I don't know what this means. Do you have a do you have a person in your life, or I don't know why I would have to tell you to give these to the fishes. Like, do you have an aquarium or a body of water, or do you have somebody that likes to fish? I'm seeing the process that I just described to you, the God's eye, the creating, and then I like here, give it to the fishes, give it to tell me what this is. What does the fish mean to you?
well, when you said to the fishes, the only thing what came into my mind, I don't know if it makes sense or not, but I do some work at a library and there's a big fish tank outside of the children's room. That's the first thing that came to me. But as far as the fishes go, um, I mean, I always think of fish as like a sign of abundance, or else my son is a Pisces.
Ah, there we are. There it is. There it is. The fishes. Give it to the fishes. I believe that's it. Okay. The Pisces energy. I'm a Pisces as well. So the fish connection.
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, Interestingly enough, is your son in a place of suffering? Could he use a little like energetically charged charm?
He's certainly open to those. He's been raised that way, so I think maybe he could use some upliftment or some positive energy. Sure, sure.
Yeah. Any not easy being a Pisces. It's not easy being a Pisces. You know, we're walking around with an ocean of emotion inside of us all the time. So there's, you know, any of the good mojo that you could throw in that person's direction. And do you have other Pisces in your life?
My dad was a Pisces. My brother-in-law was a Pisces. So I've had a lot of Pisces guys. They're both in spirit, my dad and my brother-in-law. But Nico is double Pisces and Leo, my son.
Okay, so how about this? Let's look at Pisces as being the symbol for, let's say, water signs or people that would be emotional. You know, water signs, the zodiac signs, whether, you know, whether they're a Leo or a Sagittarius, they might be a fiery sign, but they might have a lot of emotions that they're carrying. I think that the God's eye and those charms that you can create are going to give somebody emotional a way to ground themselves and find their center. Okay. I think that I mean, Deborah, I'm straight up talking witchcraft here. You know what I mean? Like, yes.
Straight up
Like,
talking to one, so that's good. You're on my wavelength, friend.
yes. Okay. So anybody that, I mean, yes, you can be Reiki trained, you can become a Reiki master, and those those programs and those classes can help you take the thing that's already inherently part of you as a human being so you can direct it with more intention. But so many people are out there doing these things already without this training. So if people are out there feeling like they have a massive amount of love to give to people and they feel called to crafts, all you got to really do is just think about dumping that energy in, dumping that love in. You know, it's that intention and that energy that you're bringing to that process, and then give that gift. Give that gift. The one caveat that I have with that is that those items that you're making should be of an organic nature. something that's wool or cotton, something that's made of plants, stones, something like that. I saw Maricel comment with the like a mojo bag. Absolutely. Make a little mojo bag, something like that. Deborah, for you, interestingly enough, it's the God's eye. Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you for being here.
thank you very much.
All right.